Alright. Hey, my name's Robsteroo, and this is a redstone showcase for something that I made that I think's pretty cool, and I haven't seen anyone else do. It features bits and bobs from other people's creations, so I'll reference them in the description when I get to them. And I haven't seen anyone else do this. There's a random video that I found from 12 years ago, which I'll also link, that someone kind of did this, but I'm going to say it's not the same thing. And yeah, I had a couple of inspirations, but first I'll just show you what it is. Right, so, wow, look, it's the middle of the day. Now, I built this in a redstone world, so it's kind of a crappy entrance because I wasn't bothered. But we got our hidden underground base, right? Wow, what an amazing base. Huh, I wonder what this is. Oh, that's cool, it's a clock. Alright, let's go through this door. Well, that's a really nice door. And there's a 3x3 spiral door, which I copied off someone, and this flush door was another person's, mixed with the... It opens with a note block in the door. So that was like Il Mango, or someone came up with that. I got the idea from an Il Mango video. And this is my build. It's a Minecraft planetarium. So there's the sun. And there's the sun, right? And if I /tick sprint for, I don't know, 3 days. Sun's going around, moon's coming up. Sun's going down. Right, there we go. And, you know, it's right there. And then when I go to sleep, the moon zooms around because the night got skipped, so the sun had to come up. So that's what that was. And I can't go through because I'm on tick sprint, but that's what this is. That turns it on and off, right? And so now that it's off, it's going to be, oh, whoops. Now that it's off, it's going to be way out of whack, right? Sun's way down there. And so when you turn it back on, it's really easy. It auto adjusts when you turn it back on, right? So it's nighttime. It sometimes can take a couple of days, but if it's nighttime and you just go to sleep, it should auto adjust to the correct time. Right, so now the time's right. That's pretty cool. And then the other switch out here is the rain switch, which actually went off. Oh my gosh, which went off for a second earlier. So if I go /tick sprint stop /weather rain, right? If I go up here, it's raining. Now this won't work in the desert because you need the rain. But yeah, now we have rain in our thing. It's a bit noisy, but it's kind of cool how it's got the particle thing. And yeah, I just used some random... I just searched how to make a realistic shower in Minecraft and modified the heck out of it to make it fit in here and as much as possible. So that just keeps going until the rain stops, and you can turn it off with this, but that fully turns it off, right? So that now it'll never rain, which I added because it's really annoying and really loud. So, you know, I debated not even having the raining cloud because it's kind of ugly, but I thought it was a cool feature, so I kept it. Yeah, I got 2 of these doors. They open with the note block, which is really cool. Got the buttons on either side. This
more of your secret base, you know. And that's the build. And there's some, that's for the rain to get through. That's for some light to get through, and that's for some more light to get through. And because it's a secret base, that's why I've built it above under a pale garden, because you can put moss. Because rain goes through carpet and like no other blocks, and kind of the same with sunlight. Because like slabs, no, maybe not slabs. I don't know. There are some blocks that are, you'd think, oh, that's good because light can go through it, but it actually decreases the skylight by a level of 1, which would mess up the system. So yeah, this is my really cool build. It's a planetarium, original idea, original build. Some of my inspirations were, what were they? There's a scene in Avatar: The Last Airbender. They go into a library, and yeah, there's like a planetarium, and I thought that was really cool. What else? What's his name? Joe from Hermitcraft. His base in, like, I don't know, season 6, or I don't know. He had like a thing that showed where the sun was and the moon was over his base, but it was just a light that lit up. It wasn't actually going around. That was another inspiration. And other than that, it was just something that I thought of, and I was like, that's going to be really cool. And so I'll go to my testing world. Right, so this is it. Oh, actually, I made one modification that I have to fix. Right, so you just got a hint of how that works because you heard the dog. Okay, so basically, music. Right, so the door is a 3x3 spiral door and a 3x3 fully flush door, not one of the ones that goes into the floor. And the reason for that is because this is rotating around, so you can't have any pistons in it. And yeah, everything's moving, which made it quite difficult to fit anything. And I wanted it flush so that it was actually a ball, right? So this is a giant ball. There's just a glass floor, and this doesn't actually have to be here. The whole room rotates without this. It's just aesthetic, and it also it also like hides the sun at the right point, as in when it's perfectly middle of the day. All you can see is this blue line the whole way around, right there, because the floor's one down from the middle, right? This is the middle here, but I want the 3x3 door not to have a big step up, so yeah. So that's that. And so the way the room rotates is I've got all these piston feed tapes, and this was also, so I've been doing this project for like a couple of years because, I don't know, I just did it and then I gave up and then I lost my whole world, so I had to restart. So yeah, each layer, the ball, right, it's rotated layer by layer. And so we got the smallest layer, which is a gapless piston feed tape. So if I tick freeze and update both these observers at the same time, there we go. So that just rotated it all by one block. Same thing with this, right? Update update, update, update. Right, so all rotates. Just gonna go through them all, why not? So this one is where it starts to become a circle. Yep, and basically this is the biggest circle of my original design, which I don't have. And yeah, that was in a different world, and I accidentally deleted that world. I know, stupid. But yeah, this was as big as the sphere got. Because it gets really hard to do a piston feed tape with only pistons on the outside when it's like this shape. I did also try for a while to do a nicer circle shape, not this like diagonals stuff, but it's really hard. So yeah, and in the original design, it used to just activate at one point, go around, go move, 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 but that took a while to do a full movement. And for the setting of the daytime, it has to be quick so that the sun gets to the right spot in the right, like in a quick time. This is the next layer up, which gets visibly more confusing. Yeah, so this layer uses slime blocks and honey blocks, which is just barely tileable because right, they all have to be next to each other. And the only reason I didn't go any bigger, right, because I got it working with a bigger circle, but there was like 2 lots of slime blocks, and yeah, the slime blocks would interfere and weren't really tileable next to the different size circles. So I kind of had to give up on that. But the size of the thing right now is still a good size. So, right, so if I do that, then I go /tick unfreeze. Yeah, so that one's significantly slower, but it's the best I could get it. So that's all the layers. That's what this is. This was like the first time putting it all together. So this would all rotate if all of these green things were activated at the exact same time, which is why I did tick freeze. Then I connected a bunch of things, and this was my first successful attempt at connecting all of the things to, I can rotate the outer layer on its own by powering this here. It just goes to the, not the outer layer, the yellow, right? So that activates this layer here. So the second largest layer on both sides. And yeah, so that's what all the different colors are. And the reason that they're all separated is something I'll tell you in a minute. We got the door. I mean, I did try make a flush door by myself. I'm not a very good door maker, so I just did like a jeb door on either side and then a vertical trap door, and just this mechanism from every single 3x3 door ever. And I was pretty proud of that. Went through a bunch of different 3x3 doors. This one's really good because it's really fast. I'm pretty sure Avogado and some other people made this one. I found a couple of 3x3 fully flush doors, like 2 of them. This is the best one that I found. I did try the other one, but the other one was way too big and just didn't work for this because where's the switch on this? Oh, here. So when this closes, right, it looks like this from the backside, which is just ugly as heck. So I wanted to put a 1 wide 3x3 piston door here just to cover it up, which is what you saw in the actual build. Yeah, so that was the original thing that I, just followed a tutorial for. I think this is the other one. This one's really neat when it's open. That's what I liked about this one. And closed, it's not as neat. Oh yeah, they're both neat when they're open. Actually, I don't know what I was saying. But yeah, basically because the rotating mechanism goes right around, right? That one over there, the gapless piston feed tape goes right around. I couldn't have any like power, like this redstone torch, powering the pistons and stuff. So that was the problem with this older one. Even though it's really good, this one was pretty close. I mean, there were some things like this block couldn't get powered because there was stuff there. And so here I've got the thing in front of it. And yeah, I made a bunch of modifications. I guess that block could go there. Anyway, made a bunch of modifications. Also added the pink, which is another 3x3 spiral door. I'm not sure whose door this is. I probably won't be able to find it to put in the description, but it was a lot of the spiral doors are the same, so I'm going to say that's fine. The purple is the circuit I added to open both the doors and then close it, so it's just a delay circuit. But then it also has a thing for this, which is what I added, right? So this actually powers through the piston feed tape, which was, everything's a bit crammed here. It goes down here, gets split up, and as this thing moves, it activates the observer again and again, obviously. So that's kind of what this stuff is. It'll lock it, so this powers, and then straight away, so that it doesn't accidentally get powered again. See how it's just activated twice, so that's why it was locked. So it doesn't open and close and open and close and open and close. And I remember that took me a little while. So flush door, heavily modified, added on this door, which actually remained pretty much the same. I had to adjust the timing a bit because when this one activated, it would bud this piston, and so when this one opened, it would then spit out this block again. So that was really annoying. Or the spiral wouldn't work. So I just changed the timings on the activation of the 3x3 spiral door. Yeah, so those are the doors, and I just mirrored them on both sides because this gap, I mean, you can't really put a feed tape in here when you have a feed tape there. I mean, you could kind of do what Mumbo Jumbo did when he did a gapless door, which is where they all got pulled out, right? And then they got rotated around, but I think that's just a bit excessive for this. Yeah, all these feed tapes I made myself. There's a bunch of note blocks and stuff around. So you'd put buttons on all of them so that they don't make a noise. Yeah, the note blocks make it faster, right? So we got one tick, one tick, one tick, and then the next tick is here, so it skips 2 blocks, and you can split signals. Yeah, because in my original design, it was just all observers. It looked crazy, like just a block of observers. I mean, it worked, but it was really slow, and I can't show it because it's in the world that I accidentally deleted. Anyway, basically, where is it? Here it is. So the reason that all of those lines went to an individual selection is because this one, right, as you can imagine, if this is where the sun is, it's going to go there, and then there, and then there, and then there, and it's going to take 32 movements to get back to the same spot. This one, however, is smaller, right, so it's going to require less movements. This one only requires 16 movements to go the whole way around, right? And so basically, the reason they're all separate is so you can power them individually, right? So this one, every single time the sun moves, this is going to move, right? But this row is going to move every single time but like 4 because it has 4 less blocks. So that the line and the sun are always at the same point. Otherwise, this would just slowly fall behind, and this would overtake it and end up down here eventually, you know. So that's what this is. It's different, you know. So the first time this doesn't get powered at all, doesn't get powered at all. Then this one doesn't powered, doesn't get powered, gets powered, doesn't get powered, for the rotation. And I've, you know, done all these builds to make the cleanest line possible, right? Because you can't exactly do nice diagonals on a curve. This is the best I could get. So that's the night coming down, right? Just like that. And now I have to tick freeze to get out of this. But yep, so that's the different powerings, and this is obviously 1 1 1 1 1 1 1 because it goes every time. I have to tick unfreeze, and I'm going to be stuck in this for a second. Oh, tick unfreeze. Okay, we're out. Now the next thing is this. So because they all have to be powered differently, I had this counter, right? It's crafty counter. Crafty Masterman made that. In my original design was before this update, so didn't have that. But again, I lost the world. Basically, every time this goes, the counter goes up, and this is just a red coder with a spacing of 1. I didn't search up any videos. It's probably not as efficient as it could be. But basically, only need 8 outputs because, sorry, this one over here, because it's 8 zeros and it loops after 8 movements, right? So then it's just 90-degree rotation, which is going to be the same controls. And so basically this has 10, and on the first one it'll power this and just repower itself, and same again, repower, and then go to this one, right? And when this powers, it splits up into the different rows, and so all those different lines get powered depending on whether there's a repeater here or not. So that's basically how I just hard coded a ROM, read only memory. Yep. And so let me just actually show that. So this actually can go pretty fast. Yep. So that just did that that double movement. So I'll do that again. Yeah. So that just powered twice, and then it started this loop again. And so basically, at this point here, that's when I added that to this. That was working, right? So this, if I do that and I get a lever, and I start that loop. I don't know if this one still works, but yeah. So that's now rotating, and the line stays in the right point, just like that. And so that's as fast as this can possibly rotate. And you know, I'm actually just going to tick sprint just because I can. Right, so that's as fast as it can rotate. That's not the speed of the actual day movement. So let me turn that off. Right, so I figured that out. And then I did the pink circuit over here. The pink circuit is the day alignment circuit, if that makes sense. So basically, this is where I gave up for a long time because I just couldn't figure it out, because daylight detectors are really stupid. Yeah, so basically I found this circuit online by a guy that made a clock. I'll also link that. And well, it might not be exactly like this, but it worked like this. I don't know. I rebuilt this from memory the other day. Basically, it works. This is reading less than 6. That means it's nighttime or it's raining, or something like that. And then it goes up to above 6, and then this gets powered, and then briefly after the piston extends. So as long as, I don't know, I'll just set time to night. /set, what? No, /time set night. Okay. Okay. So basically, what's going to happen is that's going to power, and then that's going to power to cancel it. Oh, yeah, no, the way it works, right, so it goes from night to day. This one powers, and then as the day goes on, this gets brighter and extends this piston, right? But if it's already daytime and it goes to nighttime, this piston's already extended, and then it gets to this one. But the piston's already extended because same value coming out of it. And so it won't trigger the cycle. I don't know why that's not rotating anyway. Oh, I see what I did. Yeah, so that's gonna go, and it will send an output. So that sent an output, but when it goes from day to night, yeah. So basically, what this circuit does is, when it's morning after you just wake up out of bed, it receives a signal of 6, and that should trigger it. But also, when the sun goes down, it also goes to a signal of 6 before eventually getting to 0. So this just makes sure that it's morning. It's going from 6 to 7, not from 7 to 6. Okay. Then we have 2 different ETHO hopper clocks, and I didn't follow a tutorial. I just kind of tried, and for some reason it only works when I have these to update the pistons, but in all the videos that I've seen, they don't need that. So could probably be optimized, but I don't really care. Yeah, so this one is at the speed of this, right? So it's as fast as that can possibly rotate. And this one, I've changed the items so that it does 32 movements in a full Minecraft day, right? So the sun will be up there, and then 32 movements later, it'll be up there again. This moves 1/32 of a day. That's how long it takes for this to move once. And then this is all just stuff so that this one doesn't trigger, and then this one triggers right after, because then it wouldn't be at the fastest speed it can go. It'd be faster, which would break it. This is just an off switch, right? So now it has outputs. And right now, because it became morning, this circuit has triggered the fastest thing to rotate it as fast as possible until it gets to the right spot. And then when it gets to the right spot, this will be triggered, which switches it back, right? So this one's now locked, and this one's enabled. And so now that's the thing rotating the sun around. And this could definitely be compacted because I've just done a big square. But basically this is the sun alignment thing. So this represents the center of the sun. And when this block is here, the center of the sun in this thing is right about there. So that's like sunrise. So you can just change where the block is, you know. Basically what this is we have a simple you know, these are going through here. When the block is in line with that, it'll power this, or this one, or this one. And then we just have an AND gate, right? So this will always be off unless this one of these is in line with the block, and this thing down here is giving an output, right? And so basically, we have one daylight sensor. I could have done more than one, but I wanted the minimum amount of holes going through the roof of your secret base. Basically, this reads from 6 to 8, right? So the earliest morning, and that powers that one. And then this one, this one I believe is 9 to 11 to power this next thing, and then we have 12 to 13, and that powers this one, right? So the three different outputs are the sun is there, the sun is another 30-second around in the sky, right? So 1 32nd is one block in that machine. And so, yeah, basically this is at sunrise perfectly. So it has to be the blocks in line with that, and one of these two signals is given, and then it will disable the really fast turning. And same. Because the reason there's 3 is because, you know, it might be here if it's way out of whack, and then it's suddenly morning, and then it has to go dun 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 all the way around to get back to here. But by then the sun's already moved, you know, up to there in the sky instead of just there. So it's got these extra spots, and it has to be in line. And, you know, I could have done all the confirmations, but then it just gets crazy. So that's what that is. And every time this thing gets powered through this redstone line, that rotates that, and it also just goes here and is really janky, just attached to the red coder, and then to that, and then to that. And then this is just this white line just goes all the way down to this copper bulb, which then just locks the signal, right? So this isn't rotating, and it isn't sending any signals to here, meaning that that is now off, but it's still in line with this block, which is important. And then there's the output coming from that goes up here back to the lamp, just because it's nice to have an indicator whether your thing's on and off. And then that splits because I wanted it on both sides because symmetry. And at this point I just sort of stopped caring, so I just sort of ran the wires without trying to be compact. I mean, obviously here I had to be compact because, yeah. Then, I mean, these are all the same thing. I just got paranoid, so I copy pasted. This grey wire is the rain one, which same deal. 2 wires is one is the light, one is the signal sender. This is the rain detector, and basically the way it works is there's a dog in here, a wolf. I don't know why it's got snow above it. That's broken. Anyway, basically the dog gets wet, and this dispenser is constantly dispensing powdered snow. I'm just gonna, maybe it's that. What am I doing? Creative mode. There we go. So it's constantly dispensing powder snow, right? And the way a wolf works is when it's wet, it's gonna be like grayer, and then when it's wet and it's under a roof, it'll shake. And there's a skulk sensor in here to detect when it shakes. And so if it's raining, then it's going to get wet, and this roof is appearing and disappearing. And so there's going to be a roof above it, and it's going to shake, and then the skulk sensor basically activates. So if I do /weather rain,
I know I'm in the desert, but I changed the biome, so yep. Okay, so that, once it detected it, it stops the roof so that he doesn't shake again. And now he won't shake until the rain stops, because he will be no longer getting wet. That's weird. Slash rain, weather. Clear. So that should, in theory, stop now, but I think I broke something. Anyway, it works in the other model. Actually, I'll just have a look at my testing one. Right, so this is it down here. Okay, it is set to 4 ticks. I don't know why it wasn't ticking earlier. But yeah, so basically that triggers, and this redstone block gets sent down, which I've led to the rain thing, which I'll show you in a second. I'll just fix this. Powder snow. And the string in the carpet is just proof that the rain can actually get through carpet. But I tested a bunch of blocks, it cannot get through, like a lot of things. Okay. So I need to activate the skulk sensor. Okay. So now it's not detecting rain. Right, so basically signal goes up here, then it started getting real crammed with all this wiring, so I just did a wall. Like that. Activates that observer, which spits out this piston, and this is just sending a signal, powering this block, which then goes to the rainmaker. And when you turn off the rain with that, it just literally pulls this piston out so that it doesn't get the signal sent through. Okay, so the rainmaker. Basically, I've got some maps there because it's really ugly. But yeah. So again, rain doesn't pass through many things, and neither do water particles. And so the best thing I could get was cobwebs, which are white like a cloud, and trapdoors, which are also white like a cloud. Basically, I have a bunch of armor stands placed in here, and it's surrounded by fences to keep it kind of locked in place, and it's aligned with an anvil and a chest so that it's 2 pixels on this stair to the right and 1 pixel this way. And it's important that it's aligned on this axis because the blocks rotate around that way, and the fence prevents it from being pushed off the stair. And the reason it's barely on the stair is so that as many water drops can fall down as possible. And it could be a slab, but the stair just has a nice face here so that I can actually cover this dispenser. Right, and so basically, when an armor stand gets wet or gets put in water, it splashes like a tiny little splash. So I've just got this dispenser spam placing water and taking it away, and placing it and taking it away, and that's getting 20 armor stands wet at once, which all create particles that fall down, and it's just continuously doing that. So I'll just show that. Right, so you can see the water coming down, and that's just that, right? It's getting wet. I mean, technically you don't need the cobwebs here, but they hide it a little, and it lets you place maps on it to hide it even more. Yeah, so the reason it's on a stair is because if it was any higher, it gets cut out by the blocks above,
because for some reason the particles are generated like halfway along the armor stand. Yeah, you can see why I added an off switch. That's really annoying. But I thought it would be cool to add rather than just having a dispenser dispensing water, which would be ugly. I've got Skulk as the stars because that's really cool. And it's just concrete otherwise. Yeah, so this is in the thing, and I had to do a bunch of changes to actually. Oh shit! I was in survival. I had to do a couple of changes to make sure that this would actually rotate around everything without powering anything. Yeah, and then that's kind of my build. That right there is the first planetarium in Minecraft, and I think I've done it pretty well. The only way that I could think I could improve it is if I made it bigger. Yeah. Or smaller actually, like compactor. But it's underground, so that's the cool thing about underground. Yeah, I tried to find a thunderstorm detector, but they don't exist. I mean, they do, but they're unreliable. And I don't know what I would have done. I might have had like a lamp in there that flashes. Yeah, so that's my build. I think it's pretty cool. Here's down here was my water testing, because initially I thought I was done just with this one, and then I was like, oh, I remember something about a realistic shower. I wonder if I can do rain like that. And so I found a video and did that. So yeah, this one might have way more armor stands. Yeah, so rain, it's pretty cool. Stud wolf testing. Yeah, so that's my my build. I think it's pretty cool, and I really hope it catches on, becomes like a whole thing, because then I can say that I have a popular thing, you know. I don't know. I'm kind of rambling now, but this took me like 2 years. So, I mean, not 2 years straight, but you know. Yeah, there was a bunch of changes I had to do on the door. Well, so initially the door was good, right? Because the guys that made it were just pros. But then I had to make the changes so that this would work and this would work, and then I had to fix it more and more because it became locational, and now it's not. This whole thing isn't locational, but I would recommend you paste it with that pointing east anyway, so that it's actually rotating in the same direction as the sun. Use cases, I don't know. I just thought it was really cool, and that way you never have to go above ground. Oh, that was the other inspiration. The other inspiration was that one guy's artificial world in Minecraft story mode. Yeah. This was also my first encounter with circular piston feed tapes, until I googled it and Crafty Masterman beat me to it. But I'm going to say mine was better because mine doesn't have pistons on the inside. But yeah, if anyone can make a tileable one that's like, you know, a really nice circle, as in does this, right? Because that's smoother curve, but it's really hard when you can only do the pistons on the outside. If you can make a tileable one of that, or you can just make it bigger, like as in another layer, then that'd be really cool to see. So if you're still watching, I don't know why. I'm gonna end it like now. But thanks for watching. I've been Robsteroo, and yeah, that's pretty much it. Go make a planetarium. I might do a world download. Yeah, I'll do a world download in the description. All right, peace.